Waves lapped softly against the hull, almost whispering secrets. A sharp breeze carried the scent of salt and distant mystery. Suddenly, without warning, the ship tilted and the sky turned dark. A chilling calm followed, as if nature held its breath. In that moment, several miles away, the Bermuda Triangle waited, hungry for stories, ready to swallow yet another vessel whole. Welcome to Stories Under the Stars. Settle in, the fire's still warm. You can feel the glow embrace you as flickering shadows dance between the trees. Listen closely. The stories we tell tonight weave a tapestry of the unknown, tales of sailors who once trusted the skies above and the waters below. They say this particular patch of ocean, known as the Bermuda Triangle, has claimed countless ships and planes. The hidden depths hold memories and mysteries that have fascinated many for generations. So gather closer and let the ember's warm glow pull you into a world where legend meets reality, where the sea speaks its silent tongue. Bermuda Triangle, often characterized by its 3 points, Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, stretches across the Atlantic Ocean like a labyrinth of treacherous waters. Sailors have long whispered tales of ships vanishing without a trace. Among them are the fabled stories of Flight 19, a group of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that disappeared on a routine training mission in December 1945. The skies that day were oddly calm, yet each pilot reported navigational malfunctions as they flew south of Fort Lauderdale, unsure of their bearings. Tension filled the air as the crew struggled with confusion. The lead pilot, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, transmitted frantic messages that suggested they were lost over open water. Calm seas turned choppy as they tried to find their way back. Hours later, a rescue plane was sent to locate them. But as fate would have it, that plane too vanished into the vast, unpredictable sea. The fire crackles nearby, releasing flickers of light into the twilight. The ocean is a tapestry of stories like these, woven with fear and the unknown. Even decades later, the enigma remains, and no conclusive evidence was found to explain their disappearance. The stories and speculations grew. They say some believe the triangle harbors a gateway to another dimension. Under its depths, there could be treasures lost, things swallowed whole by the sea. Some theorize magnetic anomalies, while others speak of underwater volcanoes that disturb the currents. But tonight, as the embers dance and cast their glow, you can feel the weight of the tales that linger here. As the fire continues to crackle, the stories of the triangle unfold deeper through the shadows. One of the most captivating legends is the tale of the USS Cyclops. This massive naval cargo ship, with its crew of over 300 men, set sail from Barbados in March 1918, bound for Baltimore. But during its journey, an unexpected storm swept across the sea. Back then, communication was limited, and sailors relied on their skills to navigate these fierce waters. They say the Cyclops was built to withstand any storm, and yet it vanished without a trace. No distress signals were ever received, and not a single scrap of evidence was found. It was said that a sea so full of life can just swallow a ship whole. The Atlantic's vastness creates deep depths where we can only guess what lies beneath. Tales like these ripple through time like shadows under the water. Many propose explanations, but none can claim certainty. The mystery runs deep as the whispers of lost ships still calling from the depths. Today, the ocean teems with vibrant coral reefs and countless creatures, yet there are pockets of emptiness swaying with sorrow, ghost stories entwined in the seaweed, like a fisherman's net collecting memories of the past. As you listen to the wind rustle through the trees, consider the stories of those lost, of the journeys untraveled. They say some of these sailors returned. Transformed, the air grows cooler and the night deepens. Around the fire, the thoughts linger like smoke, unresolved yet inviting, like a lullaby being hummed just out of reach. As the flames flicker and cast playful shadows, another story from the depths of the triangle emerges. It's the story of a fishing boat named the Ocean Blue. Just a humble vessel, yet on a day like any other, it set sail with the promise of a good catch. The crew was tight-knit, experienced in navigating the waters they called home. On that fateful day, the atmosphere was almost electric, with an unsettling calm washing over the sea. This calm foreshadowed an unseen tempest. Reports say that the Ocean Blue went off the radar, its last position logged miles away from the mainland. Fishermen who waited impatiently for their return felt a chill of worry deep in their chests. Days turned into weeks, and still, no sign of the boat. They say sometimes the ocean holds its secrets close, not to be revealed easily. Just as people talk of the sea being enchanted, some believe the Bermuda Triangle holds a spell more sinister. The stories that arose were a web of myth and facts intertwining. The fishermen listened as elder voices recounted stories of light seen dancing on the water's surface, of strange sounds echoing through the waves. Some even swore they saw shadows moving beneath the surface, something that shouldn't have been there. The myths grow thicker as generations pass. Was that a lost ship, or simply a tale spun by sleepless minds? As the stories whisper into the evening air, the world turns still, and the night unfolds peacefully outside your warm circle of light. All the mysteries hidden beneath those tranquil waters blend into a tapestry of wonder as you ponder the stories behind those fleeting, silent echoes. Now, perhaps the most haunting of them all, the legend of the Mary Celeste. In 1872, this ship set out from New York to Europe loaded with cargo, including castor oil. It was on this journey that a mysterious fate befell her. When another ship, the Dei Gratia, crossed paths with the Mary Celeste, they were stunned. It floated adrift, completely abandoned. A hurried search found no sign of life aboard. The belongings remained undisturbed, and even the crew's personal effects were left behind, as if they had simply vanished into thin air. The fire crackles softly in the background, breaking the silence of the night as you contemplate the unexplained mysteries that surround this vessel. The captain's cabin was intact, the last meal left uneaten. The minds turned wild with speculation. Some think it was piracy, others a mutiny, and some even suggest the crew fell prey to the triangle itself. Lost to a different realm, a fate bound to the waves. But no physical evidence ever surfaced to clarify their disappearance. Even as time passed, searches continued, yet the Mary Celeste remained the embodiment of mystery, a ghost ship that still sails the minds of adventurers and historians alike. And so, as you sit before this campfire, each flicker of light igniting the curious fondness for the unknown, you feel something connect. The stories of the lost remind us of what is truly precious. Under the same stars their eyes once gazed upon, you find yourself under a blanket of secret lives, old and new, steeped in silence, and passed down through the ages, like the whispers of the waves lapping against the shore. As the fire pops and crackles, imagine what it must have felt like for the crew of the Mary Celeste when they stumbled upon that ghostly ship adrift in the heart of the Bermuda Triangle. Here was a vessel, named for the saint of lost causes, seemingly abandoned yet still afloat, drifting aimlessly beneath the unyielding sun. There was no sign of struggle, no fading cries carried on the wind, just a haunting silence that enveloped the waves. She was found in December of 1872, the Mary Celeste, a brigantine that departed from New York bound for Genoa. They say there was a fair wind that day, with sails full and spirits high. But as she sailed into the Triangle, a region notorious for its strange happenings, those spirits would soon meet the wrath of the unknown. Her captain, Benjamin Briggs, and a skilled crew of 7 men vanished as if they had been swallowed whole. When the ship was discovered, the only things that remained were the ship's cargo and a dinner table set for a meal long forgotten. The crew's belongings lay undisturbed. Brave souls, seasoned sailors they were, and yet they simply disappeared. They say the ship had been untouched, the cargo still intact, the lifeboat missing, but no grisly evidence that would suggest a catastrophic end. The old stories tell of days that turned into nights under a canopy of stars, the crew standing watch, when without warning the horizon grew thick with fog, and in that haze, something unseen unfolded. Whispers suggest it may have been a waterspout or sudden squall, but who can really know? Night after night, the crew's fates became fodder for speculation. Some claimed it was a terrible accident. Others spoke of mysterious forces drawn to this magnetic stretch of ocean where compasses spin askew. As you watch the fire dance, flickering embers rise into the night, consider the legends that have grown from that dark mystery. What if the sea chose to keep its secrets? The Mary Celeste remains an enigma, her sails long since tattered, yet her story floats like a specter over the waves, intertwining with the very fabric of the Bermuda Triangle. Just like the fire before you, it's a story that draws you in, igniting curiosity and wonder. As the flames flicker softly, casting a warm glow against the growing shadows, let's dive into another tale. This one speaks of the USS Cyclops. A Navy cargo ship that vanished without a trace in 1918, her disappearance added another layer to the haunting lore of the Bermuda Triangle. The story unfolds in the robust shadow of World War I, a time when tensions carried the weight of nations. The Cyclops sailed from Barbados, her hull heavy with manganese ore. She was a powerful vessel, yet as she set course for Baltimore, she met her fate under the watchful gaze of the winds. The history tells of a ship strong enough to withstand great storms, but the Triangle was no ordinary sea. Days turned to weeks, and as search parties combed the ocean, no trace of the Cyclops was ever found. No debris, no lifeboats, nothing but a vast, unforgiving expanse where she should have been. Can you feel the weight of that loss beneath the stars? It's a question that haunts many a sailor's heart still. They say the ocean swallowed her whole, possibly after a sudden squall, or perhaps a more sinister force played its hand. At the time, superstition ran high. Some believed that the ship had been claimed by a mystical force, a guardian of the sea, the same force believed to guard the very secrets of the Bermuda Triangle. As you sit by the fire, the popping of the logs mimicking distant waves crashing against the ship's hull, imagine a crew filled with hope and possibility, suddenly engulfed in silence, their dreams extinguished beneath glassy waters. Years passed, yet the mystery deepened, becoming entwined with other local legends. Like the flickering of a candle, the story of the Cyclops survived, illuminating the depths of human curiosity and fear. Every story lingers, like smoke rising into the night sky, and just like the soft crackle of the fire, it reminds us that some mysteries may never be solved. As the ember glow dances and sways, let's recount another fabled tale. This one revolves around Flight 19, a squadron of 5 avenging F-4F Wildcats that vanished beneath the surface of the Bermuda Triangle in December 1945. Can you hear the distant roar of engines? Imagine them flying in formation, 5 courageous souls bound by duty, soaring through the crisp blue skies over the sea. The sun hung high as they navigated through their training exercise. The mission seemed straightforward, well within their grasp. Yet the ever-constant currents of the triangle surrounded them, frothing with secrets and unforeseen dangers. Just as they were about to turn back, their navigation instruments started to betray them. There is an eerie sense, even in its memory, how the compasses began spinning, causing confusion amongst the pilots. It's said that they might have ended up lost, detoured by forces unknown, trying to break through a veil of fog, thickening like a dark shroud. You can almost feel the trepidation in your gut emerge as they realized they were no longer flying over the familiar landscape. Desperation crept in, and Mayday calls echoed through the static-laden radios, pleas for guidance that would yield no response. They say one of the pilots, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, had a reputation for his sharp instincts, yet amid the confusion, he became just another lost voice in the void. As the days turned into a desperate search, families waited with bated breath. Where were those brave souls? What had taken them from the skies? As you sit by the fire, the smoke spiraling like unanswered questions, remember that the search parties recovered debris, but none of the pilots. Only whispers on the winds shared their fates, lost deep within those waters. Long after the engines fell silent, the legend of Flight 19 would carry on, intertwining with all the narratives that pile up over generations. Like the embers glowing before you, forever lighting the dark night, fading yet never forgotten. The sea kept their story, and as the fire pops, consider all they left behind, trailing through time like fading echoes across the waves. As you gaze into the heart of the flickering fire, another tale unfolds, this one darker, yet intertwined with all that has been shared. It speaks of the disappearance of a vessel not unlike the others, a luxury yacht named the Witchcraft, which sailed into the dark seas one fateful Christmas Eve in 1967. The rich and famous adventurers often sought solace in the splendor of the sea, and there, hopes intertwined with caution. 2 men on board, a wealthy real estate mogul and a close friend, left Miami for a tranquil night on the waves. They say the weather was ideal, a peaceful night under the stars, with the scent of salt in the air. It was not until they approached the shore that the panic struck. As they failed to arrive, their loved ones grew worried and called the Coast Guard. What lay beneath that deceptively calm surface still remains unanswered. Rescue teams, guided by the soothing but eerie light of flares, scoured the waters endlessly, only to find traces of the Witchcraft, her beautiful lines lost to the tides. The radio in the boat kept transmitting. The men pleading for assistance echoed in the night, a lost cry beneath the stars. Within all those hidden depths, something more than just a boat's fate awaited. Many speculate that those men must have met a sudden swell or an unexpected shift in currents. As you listen to the crackle of the fire, consider the weight of their last moments, their laughter trailing off into silence, swallowed whole like driftwood upon the waves. Did something powerful and terrible rise from beneath? The search crept onwards, yielding only unanswered questions, festering loss intertwined with tales of the triangle. Like tendrils of smoke drifting into the night, their story too became a part of the fabric of the sea, echoing in the soul of each who dared navigate its waters. And as the fire burns low, think of how the dark waters hide the whispers of stories that linger, just waiting to be told, as the embers crackle softly in this peaceful sanctuary of the night. The ocean beneath the surface was a world of silence. They say the Bermuda Triangle has secrets buried deep within its waves, whispered among the currents like sailors' tales carried by the wind. As the darkness enveloped the waters, strange lights have been reported flickering like fireflies, teasing the eyes of those navigating the night. Stories echo of ships disappearing without a trace. Sometimes they simply wandered from their course, perhaps entranced by the mystery, feeling drawn to an unknown call. Imagine standing at the edge of the shore, listening to the gentle rush of the waves. The hush of night is complete, save for the lapping water. One such story tells of the USS Cyclops, a Navy cargo ship that entered these very waters in March of 1918. Over 300 men and a load of manganese ore were lost, but the ship itself never reached port. They searched tirelessly. Days turned into weeks. Yet, not a single piece of debris ever floated ashore. What happened? Some say it fell victim to mysterious forces. Others suggest that the ship encountered a violent storm, swallowed by angry waves. Or it could have been simply a case of human error, navigating through the complex weave of currents and unpredictable weather. One thing's for certain, the ocean holds more than just water. It possesses stories, legends, secrets. As you listen to the crackling of the fire nearby, let your imagination flow like the tides. Some believe the ocean spirits keep watch over these waters, guiding or ensnaring souls that tread upon them. Amongst the stars above, the old mariners knew to watch for patterns. Shifting constellations spoke of unseen dangers. These tales remind us to respect the boundless sea, for within its depths lies a vast world, unseen, waiting for those brave enough to venture into its embrace. So as the embers fade and the air cools, recall the stories told of those lost to the depths. Their spirits whisper among the waves, reminding others of the beauty and peril found within the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. The fire crackles softly, a reminder that, even in the night, there is warmth to be found, stories waiting to unfold. As you nestle deeper into your blanket, it's easy to get lost in thought. Imagine ancient navigators, their minds filled with wonder and caution, tracing unseen paths on star-speckled maps. Their tales often mention the Devil's Triangle, a spot where the sky meets the sea, and the unpredictable winds trade whispers with the waters below. Out there, in that realm of salt and mystery, the legends flourished. One captivating story tells of Flight 19, a formation of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that vanished during a training mission in December of 1945. They flew into the sky, engines humming, without a single sign of trouble. When a search and rescue plane ventured to locate them, it too disappeared, swallowed by the very depths it sought to understand. It's as if that part of the world held a different gravity, pulling them into its depths, away from sights and sounds known to man. As the firelight dances, consider the enduring mystique of the triangle. Tales tell of compasses spinning wildly, as if playing tricks on unsuspecting sailors. Legends speak of ships sailing off into the horizon, only never to return, leaving only questions in their wake. The very air stirred with the possibility of adventure or demise. Some came seeking answers, others the thrill of the unknown, only to feel the unsettling tugs of fate guiding them to places they had no intention of wandering. They say the compass would lead you to safety, yet as the night darkened, so did the hearts of many lost souls. Just like the flames crackle and dance before you now, these stories ebb and flow. The mystery enfolds the ocean in its cold embrace, a reminder of how little we truly know. As you wrap yourself in the warmth of your surroundings, the night deepens. Listen closely, and perhaps you will hear the echoes of those lost to the sea, their spirits woven into the fabric of the night, forever entwined with the legends of the Bermuda Triangle. The fire whispers and glows warmly, an anchor against the dark, providing a safe harbor for your dreams. As the fire wanes and the stars twinkle above, those haunting tales drift back into the silence. The Bermuda Triangle remains an enigma, a world beneath the waves yet to be truly discovered. You can almost hear the whispers of the sailors, calling from the depths, longing for their stories to be told. Each ember that floats away carries a piece of their mystery, and with tonight's tales, you've become a part of those stories that weave through time. The ocean holds its secrets, and we are left with only the echoes of what was once here. So, as you settle into the warmth of your dreams, let these stories sail alongside you into the night, freeing the souls of those lost to the sea. The fire crackles softly, settling into a tranquil hush as you find peace among the shadows, knowing that the mysteries of the sea will linger just as long as its waves continue to crash upon forgotten shores. Fire's yours now. Close your eyes. The story continues in your dreams. Stories under the stars, here every night. Sleep well.